I wouldn't say it was difficult to get Disney Epic Mickey on the PlayStation 3. I mean, it's a very powerful platform, of course, and it even has, with the Move, uh, a similar control scheme to what we used in the first game. So you're able to use your paintbrush the way you would expect, and we also support the standard controller. Making the standard controller work was probably one of the bigger challenges we had. But I think we did a pretty good job. I'm sure you and your readers will tell us. But now you get to see Wasteland and Mickey and Oswald in pretty glorious HD. All the graphics are unique. All the character models, everything, all the assets were created uniquely for the HD capabilities of the PlayStation 3. So I think Sony fans are going to be happy. We'll find out. I wish I could take credit for using Oswald, but when Disney asked me if I was interested in making a Mickey Mouse game, they asked if they could pitch me on some of their ideas. It was crazy. Well, of course. I mean, you're Disney. There are probably some creative people here. And they pitched me a concept that involved bringing Oswald back, and as soon as they said that, the old animation fan here said, "Yeah, I'm making that game." There's so much that's new and different in the new game. I'm not sure we have time to talk about it all. I I don't care if you have the number 2 after your game name or the number 72. You have to do something that no one in the world's seen before, or that gamers haven't experienced before. So in this game, we've introduced 2-player co-op. At any point, a second player can drop in and play as Oswald the Lucky Rabbit with his own unique abilities. We've introduced songs. A lot of our story is told by characters bursting into song, which is kind of a new thing for games. We've just done all sorts of stuff. I mean, we have half a dozen new game systems that we've just started talking about that introduce almost a role-playing element to the game, where you really get to customize your character. There's too much to talk about, but people who played the first game are going to experience lots of new stuff, and people who are playing for the first time, I think, are going to be blown away by the ways in which you can change the world dynamically as you play, and change the story, tell your own story through the choices you make as you play. You know, all the games I've made over the last 30 years have been about players making choices about how they interact with the world, and then being shown the consequences of those choices, and having to respond to the situation that they created through those choices. That works really well in single player. It allows a player to tell his or her own story. But when you introduce a second player with a different set of abilities and maybe even some different motivations, you end up with 2 players having to talk to each other and say, okay, how do we want to solve this problem together? And between them, working together, Mickey and Oswald can do things, go places, see things, accomplish things that neither could do alone. When Mickey and Oswald use their abilities together, it opens up a whole new world of choices. They can do things and see the consequences of those things that a person playing alone won't see. Even though Oswald is an AI-controlled character with you throughout the game, even in single player, having a second player along lets you tell a story together, which has been a dream of mine. Wow, since before most gamers were born, I've been trying to do that for years, and now we get the chance. I think part of our job at Junction Point is to ensure that Mickey is relevant to modern audiences, presented as an appropriate hero in classic Disney stories. That's our job. You're right. He hasn't appeared in a story in a long time. He hasn't appeared in a game in a long time. But I was honored. My team was honored by being given the opportunity to bring him back and show the world what a hero, what an adventurous hero he could be. So yeah, I totally think he's relevant. If people will be a blue hedgehog, or a little plumber with a funny hat, or a little orange cat-like creature with a robot buddy, why not be Mickey Mouse for a little while? He's a great video game hero. I love the Disney characters, and I hope I get a chance to make a game with Donald and Scrooge and the other ducks. And I know pretty exactly what I want to do with Goofy, but right now we're focusing on Mickey and Oswald, and I hope someday Disney says, "Yeah, Warren, go make a duck game, go make a Goofy game." That'd be a lot of fun.